All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're going to have a fun song. We'd like you to sing with us. This is one of our favorites.
It's definitely.
Yes.
Got some of our rising stars here who are going to help us sing these songs. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it That's what happens with no sound. I'll just make sure you're awake. Little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Go let it shine, go let it shine, go let it shine, go let it shine. You can clap. Go let it shine, go let it shine, go let it shine, go let it shine, go let it shine. We're gonna let it shine today, folks. Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Well, how about we do another one?
Oh, do another one.
Let's do another one.
So you guys want to come up and join us? Let's sing out. Sing out loud and proud. Your love is lifting me higher
Yes.
than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, your words inspire. I'll be at your side forevermore. Your love keeps lifting me. Your love keeps lifting me. Your love keeps lifting me higher. Your love keeps lifting me. Your love keeps lifting me. Your love keeps lifting me higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God! I gotta go home and go back to bed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes. Your love keeps lifting me. Your love keeps lifting me.
Well, that is spirited, I would say, wouldn't you say? Good morning, everybody. I am so into girl bands. It just doesn't get better than that. I am Reverend Sharon Dunn, your senior minister and spiritual director here at the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, which I like to call a community center, because that's what we're here for. And it's a new month. Oh my gosh. We have so much going on. It's a new month, which means a new theme for the month, which means a new book of the month, which means birthday Sunday. You know, we should spread these things out a little bit. Let's start the month on the second Sunday with at least the book, right? So who has birthdays in April? There she is. Uh-huh. All right. And I believe you have the same birthday as my sister, yes?
Yes, I am.
So that makes you special.
Yes.
And so we are so honored to have another cake baker. Do we not? Jennifer Cartan has made our cake for today, and I believe there's also a pie.
Wow.
If I'm not wrong there with Carol Marr. Pie girl. Yeah, so we have some goodies following the service, so be sure to come to our social gathering. We used to call it fellowship, but now we're gender neutral.
I like it.
Me too, right? Yeah. So, who has a demonstration? What is a demonstration? We like to share our demonstrations because why not? We come here every week to gear up for the week, to create and manifest our dreams, and to have a demonstration which is answered prayer. And so we need to hear, is this working? So who's got a demonstration? Larry, thank goodness.
As you know, more than anybody other than myself, we love to go and play and enjoy our life. We had made a decision that we were going to look at a possible different direction for our other boat, tried to figure out which way we wanted to go, and lo and behold, the next day I got called for another big job that will enable us to do just that.
Oh, wonderful. There it is. There it is. And you know, you're all a demonstration. You do know that. Spirit can only express itself through its creation, and guess what you are? Yeah. And so after service today, we're going to be visioning for our center. And this is something we put in mind when we moved in here, that we would have quarterly visions in person here, and we haven't done that yet. And then the other night in our visioning class, we visioned for the center, and it was unbelievable. It was so amazing. So I called the boss and said, "We got to get this on the calendar. We're late."
Don't call me the B word.
There it is. And so we have picked the first Sunday of every quarter. Isn't that clever? Mm-hmm. So easy to remember. And this is not it. Oh, this is it. This is it. Yes, this is it. So anyway, today after center. And so after service, we're going to be doing this after service, making it easier for people to kind of just stay for the visioning. And we're hoping to be in our sanctuary May 1st, since we're making giant progress, and we'll be able to have our visioning in there. So let's and you know, I looked at the books of the month from our year book of the month that we get from our headquarters, and there weren't any Ernest Holmes books for the year, and I thought I'd add one. So I picked this one, and I really encourage you to look at some of his books as well, because why? Well, that's what we're about. And I think that would be a good idea. So our book of the month is Your Spiritual Power, a collection of inspirational writings. So our vision, mission, and purpose, why don't we say it together with vim and vigor like our music this morning. Our vision, we are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Our mission, we inspire personal and global transformation through the teachings of science of mind, and our purpose, in joy and love, we connect in service to all life. And I'm going to ask Debbie if she would be so generous of spirit to come and give us our invocation and your readings and your consciousness and your beauty. And yay.
I'll be the ad hoc practitioner.
Okay.
That works for me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Invocation. This is the time when we drop deep. The first time we drop deep, we do it all the time, into this moment, this present moment. Close your eyes if you feel that, or go unfocused, whatever feels good to you. And know with me that there is one power. There is one infinite wholeness and presence and goodness. And that presence and goodness and power is all that I am, and it is all that each and every one of us is. It is all that this spiritual center is. This spiritual center is a reflection of the infinite, of community coming together as God's idea of itself. The divine order of being as the order and the kindness and the love and the spiritual teaching and the learning and all of the growth, physically and spiritually and in every way of this center. We are one with this. We are part of this growth process. As it grows, so we grow. As it evolves, so we evolve, and vice versa. Today, this service is the unfolding good of the infinite. It is the unfolding presence as the infinite speaks as, in, and through Sharon, as it speaks in, as, and through the musicians, through their music, through the singing, through all of it. Through the board, through each and every person who's here and each and every person who's not able to be here today, but is part of this center in any way. This good is happening now. It is amazing every moment, and so it is. And now for our readings. There is something about you and me that is cosmic, universal, that stretches over time and space. Let us learn to think better of ourselves. And Brene Brown, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. And from Emerson, life is short, but there is always enough time for courtesy.
Yes.
And now for our amazing One Love Band.
So Sue wrote this song a short time ago. This is our first time doing it, and she was trying to get out of it. She was trying to do something else, and I said, "No, you have to do this. It's beautiful."
Oh, thank you.
So let's try.
All ready?
Holy, let me be holy. Let me have grace in days like these. Higher light. I want you to know me, feel my love overflowing. Peace, I want to be peace, and the seed that grows with grace. When I feel it, I can see it. That you are boy and girl. They are one, that are so free. All of them love you, just happy to be holy.
What just happened? Sue. Okay, we're done. I want to welcome anyone here for the first time, especially my friend Julia Smith from San Jose, who looks a lot like her sister next to her. I have known Julia for a very long time. We met in Oakland, served in Oakland. Gosh, it's been a long time. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. And I want to welcome the people that are watching on YouTube Live. In your pajamas, having your donuts. We love you too. Ooh, that music was amazing. Thank you so much. We love our musicians. So today our monthly theme is giant gentleness. Giant. I keep saying gentle giant. It's really, which is a lot different than giant gentleness. And today's topic is your gentleness is showing. And what I want to ask you to do right now is agree with me to spend the month asking yourself, what do you deeply love about yourself? What do you deeply love about yourself? Because I can tell you how much I love Sue and you know, Edna McMahon and all of you. Can I tell you up here what I truly love about myself? And I want us to practice that. And I might ask you later on in the service what you truly love about yourself. I might. So forgetting who you are is part of the journey, yes? We forget. We forget who and whose we are. And it takes that gentleness, that awareness, compassion, and gratitude. That's what this gentleness is today. Awareness, you have to be aware first. Compassion, well, we've looked at that recently, especially self-compassion. And gratitude, which is, I always say, the root of abundance. You want more? Recognize what you're grateful for. So those are the three ideas that we're going to explore today. And what I like to do is I like to bring in or match today's theme to our Declaration of Principles written by Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of our teaching, who is the author of our textbook, The Science of Mind. And so every week I like to bring one of the principles that kind of match, and I can always find one. It's the funniest thing. And we call this what we believe. And so he says, we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. You will see the connection. And very excited this week to bring the spiritual practice. I like to do what is our practice for this week, and it is to read spiritual books. That's one of our practices. And I want to bring this idea. I have some suggestions that I'm going to be referring to in a little later on. Today we're going to talk about Emerson. I know. And the reason we're doing this each week is we're bringing in something new to, or not new, but maybe something we haven't visited for a while. And this week I got a lot of Emerson. And who's Emerson? Who is Ralph Waldo Emerson, but the teacher of Ernest Holmes? So there is a lineage. We have a lineage of teachers who were influenced Ernest Holmes. And so remember that big family tree that I had up there a couple of months ago? He's on it. And he was such a big influence on Ernest Holmes, and we haven't talked about him recently. He is in one of our classes, in one of our certificated classes. We study Emerson. But I want you to think about Emerson and his influence on all of us. And so some of the books that I'm reading that I got this week was Lessons from an American Stoic, Daily Stoic, 366 lessons, and a handbook for new Stoics. Anybody know what a Stoic is? Raise your hand if you do.
I think I do.
As in Stoicism. Okay, as in Stoicism? This is going to be so exciting today. I like that. I like bringing something that is new and fun. And so when we talk about awareness, we talk about in those flashes when we are conscious of our oneness, there's an openness and all-encompassing love. Isn't that true? We go on our day thinking from our finite mind, and all of a sudden we contemplate the idea of oneness, and what happens? We love everybody. It's like, oh yeah, there's oneness. We are one. In all other moments in our lives, we need or really deserve giant gentleness. I love that quote by Emerson where he talks about, there's always time for courtesy. This is my favorite kind of ideas. I like being nice. I like kindness. I like loving kindness. I get very judgy when people aren't kind. We remember that gentleness is actually a powerful thing. And giant gentleness opens us up to who we say we want to be. That song that you sang, when you said, I want to be peace. I'm going to sing it as I am peace. That song has to go on the CD. That song is unbelievable. Told you. I was just like, because we don't want to be wannabes. We don't want to be trying. Trying's always trying, right? We're claiming it here and now. You have brought peace. You brought inspiration. That means you are. I am. It's gentle. I'm going to never get this right. We're going to just be gentle giants, okay? Thank you. And, we let ourselves off the hook and give ourselves gentleness first before we breathe gentleness into the world, into our communities. It just has to be so. We have to be that is. And it takes courage to choose to be gentle. Isn't that a kind of a, what do you call that, a dichotomy? It takes bravery, a warrior, gentle, giant warrior. And gentleness reminds us that we are so much more than we give ourselves credit for. Do you think we can kind of give ourselves credit this month? It's going to be a fun month. Not only is the weather getting better, because we're all cheered up, but we're going to feel good, and we're going to give ourselves a lot of love this month. And it opens you up to see things differently, to be okay with yourself, and to be okay when you're not okay. There is one universal energy, life, God. It is in all as all. It is what we are. Why not? Why not? And funny thing about that song, it's one thing I had to say today, was each and every moment is sacred and holy. And we are holy. Isn't that, yeah, it's all in sync, right? Right. I know, we do that a lot. Ernest Holmes says, if we are to have an active faith, and this is one of my favorite quotes in the Science of Mind textbook, if we are to have an active faith, the faith of God, instead of merely a faith in God, our thought must be centered in universal mind. We are convinced that under divine law, all things are possible, if we only believe, and work in conformity with the principles of that law. Such a faith does not spring full-orbed into being, but grows by knowledge and experience, which is why we're here every week. We're learning how to bring these teachings into our daily lives, and then into our community, and then we build something. We're building something here. I mean, it's amazing. We have the best porch in Carmichael that a lot of people sleep on, apparently. And young people gather to wait for their rides. And it seems to be a good place to put some literature. But also, I was thinking, for those at risk and for those experiencing homelessness, wouldn't it be nice when we wake them up to have like a little hygiene bag, perhaps a meal that we have in the freezer that can thaw quickly and easily, with maybe in the bag there's a gift certificate to a place nearby where they could get a meal. You know, we are gentle with ourselves. You know, the first thing I thought of was like, oh no, what if we become like, a mission where we have people, lined up for blocks. I guess that wouldn't be a bad thing. It'd be a new mission. Part of being human is living with that fear, that anxiety. This is what we do. And so I just let that thought go. Like, stop it. Like, just be kind. And when you're waking somebody up out of a deep sleep, do it kindly, perhaps, as a gift. This whole idea of being gentle with ourselves. So I did a survey on Facebook. It was kind of fun. And, because I'm trying to figure out how I move through the world, right? Using the 4 agreements. Have you heard of the 4 agreements? And I asked, what is the most difficult, what is easy. So I said, rate each agreement 1 to 4. 1 being, this is easy, no problem. 4 being, why, this is my hardest thing. This is my challenge. And of course, survey says we have the hardest time taking things personally. And the runner-up is we make assumptions. Isn't this great information? And so if we have a hard time taking things personally, why then wouldn't we be kind to one another in our speech? The Buddhist way is right speech. Why wouldn't we take a little time to think about what we say? And I know that there is another outlook in disagreement with that idea, that we should be able to say whatever we want to say and get it out there and not hold people back by how they deliver it. And I'm thinking, nope. I think in this group, the reason we're here every week is because we are looking at the idea of self-actualization. We can take a minute to be kind. And we can take a minute to be kind to ourselves and stop that negative self-talk. So when I ask you, what are you absolutely in love with about yourself, who has an answer? Delane.
I am a loyal friend.
That's beautiful.
I am kind.
You are kind.
I am curious.
You are curious.
I am loving.
You are loving.
I'm resilient.
You're resilient.
I'm creative.
You are creative.
I don't stop learning and growing. I don't stop learning and growing.
I don't stop learning and growing. Which is what I love about you.
I'm forgiving.
You're forgiving.
I am becoming less judgmental with 2 particular groups that I've struggled with.
We're not one, right? Debbie?
Copying others, but I am loyal and always growing.
Loyal and always growing.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right. Isn't that fun? Can we do this all month? It's been a while since I just woke up and said, you know what I really love about myself? And I'm going to have so much fun with this. What I love most about myself is what I'm doing right this minute. This is my glory. This is my passion. This is my jam. This is God's idea of itself as Sharon's life and purpose. And I just love it. And I love me about it. Ernest Holmes says again, there is something about you and me that is cosmic, universal, that stretches over time and space. Let us learn to think better of ourselves. It's such a great message. You are love and form. That would be a good song title, wouldn't it? I'm looking at our music director. You are love and form. So, Emerson, I need a drum roll. So what I learned about this week from another colleague, and I devoured the information. In fact, I didn't get a lot done. I was so enthralled with this information about Stoicism. Stoicism dates itself back to the ancient Greeks, and it is the practice of virtue is enough to achieve a well-lived life. I love this word. How would you say that? Eudaimonia. I'm loving my eudaimonia. And so I was like, what is this? Stoicism is when you are living your life by virtue. By virtue. And it's all through Emerson's writings. And I love the idea so much because I truly believe it's the answer. It's the answer to our divide, our great political divide, our racial divide, all our divides. It is the answer. Now, Ernest Holmes is not a stoic, but heavily influenced in the teachings. They have this idea that you live according to nature, and that according to nature, the 4 virtues are wisdom, courage, temperance, or moderation. That would be my challenge. And justice. And how do you apply that to life? Here's an easy idea here. Recognize what you can and cannot control. You determine your reaction to a crisis. Didn't we do a whole month or 2 or 3 on reaction versus response? And wouldn't it be lovely if I was a responder instead of a reactor? Reactions are so important. They give us the intel, the information that we need as to what's up for me. But then to go to response before we open our mouth, wouldn't that be a talent? Ignore people dominated by their own negative emotions. I mean, I want to go right back to the 4 agreements slide when we're talking about taking things personally. Wouldn't we be better off being a stoic? Where we say, oh, pshaw. That's how you say that, right? Ignore people dominated by their own negative emotions. Master yourself and aim to be virtuous. Learn to move on. I think that Emerson says, because there is one will and one mind, good is positive and absolute and real. You know, he's very complicated. If you read Emerson, it's kind of like you can read 3 sentences and then get back to it. You know, I'm going to reflect and contemplate and meditate on what I just read. He's like Ernest Holmes. He has very flowery and very complicated vocabulary. You know, I have to look up 5 things in 1 sentence. But his meaning is so beautiful. It is literally, if we behaved like this, if we really lived our life from virtue, we wouldn't have the troubles we have. Do you find this exciting? I kind of find this really exciting. Yeah, okay. And so compassion, turning compassion around, we've done this recently where we talk about self-compassion first. Self-compassion first. And so this is, again, self-compassion first. And Jack Kornfield, who is a Buddhist, amazing, another beautiful writer, easier to read, actually. He says, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. I really like this. Yes, each one of us had real trauma in our lives. All of us. You know, that's an interesting thing. To walk this life mindful that all of us are traumatized. All of us have something going on. All of us, and we don't know it about each other. And so we make assumptions from our vantage, from what we're feeling that day, or from what we believe, or how we were conditioned, or what our culture is, and we judge others. And then you find out what's going on with them, and it is unbelievable, the change in me. I can just shift so quickly into compassion. Why not start there? I was thinking about this. Why not start there? I know you released your little kitty, and then you got up and sang this song.
That's how I.
How did you do that? And how old was Sophie?
16.
16. Julia?
Almost 16.
Almost 16. We don't know what's going on with people. We don't know that they're showing up with a smile on their face and a broken heart. It's just beautiful, the idea of walking around just assuming. Now, there's an assumption you can make. That'll be another talk. I'm just inspired right now. What is the good thing about making assumptions? We can make good assumptions. We can assume that we are one, and that what I've experienced, you've experienced, in some form or another. Today is my little John and Christine's birthday. Heavenly birthday. It's a sweet day. But some of these days claim a date on the calendar forever. That's my day, April 7th. That's not your day, that's my day. That's her day. Do you have dates on your calendar like that? Well, that's that day. Compassion. And we've all done things that we wish we hadn't. Well, let me just use I statements. I have done things I wish I hadn't. And those are the kinds of things that we do as humans because that's how we learn. And we can practice self-compassion. Barbara Waterhouse was a minister in our teaching and made her transition, and she was full of sayings. And she said, if you could have done something differently, you would have done something differently. And you didn't. So you couldn't. That was Barbara. So you couldn't. And so we didn't. And so we have those tools, don't we? Self-compassion and the F word, forgiveness.
Oh, okay. My favorite word.
My goodness. And so last but not least, right, we're going to talk about gratitude because it was a big, big number in our class yesterday. And gratitude is another way to be mindful and to grow our prosperity. And giving thanks needs to be, should be, shoulda, woulda, coulda, should be a daily practice. You don't have to make a list. You don't have to keep a gratitude journal, though I highly recommend it. But what we do, what Larry and I do, is we say grace. We say grace with every meal, and we talk about what are good. It is our conversation. And I would highly recommend you have those conversations with someone or you yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, my gosh, this was a wonderful thing that happened today. Because it is part of the law of circulation. It's part of the law of attraction. It's part of our teaching. And I don't know, do you ever kind of forget? Take things for granted? No, not this group. Not this group. I here's a quote from Pam Grout. I would like to suggest that there's nothing more important you could ever do for yourself than to tune into the frequency of gratitude and joy. She says, I would like to suggest that there is nothing more important. So this is a good reminder. This is kind of going to go with, what do I absolutely love about myself? Because in a sense, isn't that recognizing something good, about ourselves? And isn't that kind of a gratitude step in a sense? So we could add a little icing to that, and say, I love this about myself, and I am grateful for that. So that's not a big homework assignment. That's not keeping a journal, having to go out and buy one and decorate it and then leave it at the bedside. And then dust it and, have the house cleaner, dust it. But this is something we can all do. Not that I do that, but, we can all do that. And, celebrating the simple things in life. Wouldn't that be fun if you just said, oh, today is the day. What are we celebrating? Appreciate what you have, of course. And let the anxiety and worry in the moment be present and still find things to be grateful for. What do we say? We hold multiple truths simultaneously. Let's not forget the good when we're stewing. When you wake up in the morning, send love into your day. When you're frustrated with something not going right, send love to it. Oh, who knew? Well, that dress doesn't fit anymore. Sending love. Sending love. We can do this, right? He's talking about Dr. Masaru Emoto's experience with treating water with love and gratitude, and the water formed the most brilliant crystals. You know how much water we're made of? I don't want you to fear you're going to turn into a crystal. That's not going to happen. But you get the idea. So in summary, we are working with this culture of giant gentleness. I got it right. And we're allowed to mess up. It's not the end of the world, but we know how to come back to love. We know how to come back to love. And you get to say what you like and what you don't like. You get to be authentic. We had a couple months on that, or was it a year? I think it was a year, living out loud. And we get to ask for what we need, including this isn't working for me, and we can use kindness. We can use kindness. We can use nonviolent communication. We actually, on Delaine's birthday, ended our season of nonviolence. And I actually copied every single day a post from one of our ministers that was posting something positive every day during the season. And this is something we can all do. We can all be kind. Life is always working out for our good. Be willing to let your perspective change gracefully. This is your giant gentleness. This is your grand rising. Yes? Let us pray. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. Before I even speak my word, the prayer is answered. I am so grateful. There is a presence, a power, called by many names. Love and light and peace and joy and harmony and belonging. Wisdom, wholeness, I am that is. This spirit, the creator creating creation, creates everything out of itself. And I am that. I am, as our music this morning, I am peace. I am holy. I am beautiful. I am whole, perfect, and complete right here and right now. And knowing this in my soul, knowing this from the one mind, I know this for everyone. I know this for everyone. This is the truth with a capital T. This is the truth. And in that beauty and love and abundance and harmony and all that is good, there is a connection. We are connected. Always and forever, always will be, always was. And so I know in my heart that there is a place for me to serve humanity. There is a place for me to love and influence humanity by right speech, by kindness, by courtesy. Not a handout, but a hand up. That all our brothers and sisters live in harmony, that the children are fed, that there is no war. This is the truth. And we get there through kindness, a giant gentleness, a way of being, a way of moving through the world, a commitment, a declaration, a promise that yes, when I fall down, when I make a mistake, I rise up and I start again. Because I am a divine human. A divine human. I am so grateful this prayer was answered. I'm so grateful. And I release my word into the law that makes it so. And please affirm with me as we say together, and so it is. Ashe. Shalom. Hallelujah. Amen. Yahoo! Okay. Stoic is.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Yes. And Reverend Sharon has been saying this a lot, is to give a demonstration. And I talked about a demonstration of, I tend to worry, and I was getting a feeling, I'm starting to get panic attacks about my job because of AI. You know how that goes. But every time I seem to get in a state of mind of worry, a song comes on. And I swear, I mean, I feel the Spirit telling me, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. Okay.
Preach, sister.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds, fly my message to you. Everybody, sing the don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be Gonna be alright. 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 Ready, keep it going. Yeah, sing it. Gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be alright.
I love us.
That was it, right? I think we're done because that was so beautiful. But there's probably a couple of things we have to talk about first, like sacred giving. So we have all these spiritual practices, and one of our spiritual practices is actually giving of our treasure, in this case. Time, talent, and treasure, we talk about that. Giving of our abundance, whatever that looks like to us, is giving into this universal good that responds by saying yes and giving us back so much more than we have given. So I invite you to give right here and right now.
Phone is missing. My phone is missing.
Oh, we do our abundance affirmation. I can do that. In consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am given to. Feel free to sing along.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. Who likes prayer? Anybody had any demonstrations through prayer? Anybody think they might? Anyway, we have this prayer request service. You just go on our website, you click the link, you put in your prayer, it gets sent out to the prayer team, and we pray.
That's right.
And amazing demonstrations happen. Sometimes we hear about them and sometimes we don't. And sometimes, like when I was getting prayer for a job recently, the prayer comes in not getting exactly what it is you thought you wanted because something else better is happening. And sometimes the universe knows that better than I do. So thank you all for your prayers. I appreciate it. But prayer works. Do it. There is, and I guess this is still open, I think it's a 5-week book study on, I think right now it's the first half of Falling Upward. If anybody's participating, you can agree with that.
And anybody can come at any time.
Anybody can come at any time.
Yeah.
And it is on Friday evenings from 5 to 7 p.m. and it's $200 a session. Wait a minute. It's a love offering. I got that wrong.
I'm trying to keep you.
Yes! Just say yes to your abundance. But it's with our Reverend Patricia and Richard Rohr. If you have read him or if you haven't, he is an amazing modern spiritual thinker. He's a guru who takes Catholicism as his base and expands that into a universal spirituality that is profound and compelling and transformative. So, highly recommend.
And
We
it's
have
Anne's turn.
Oh, and it's Anne's turn. I was going to say, I need someone to talk about this.
Anne's turn too.
I offer you the mic.
Yes.
We have received the ballots and survey about how you would like us to share our givingness. And the votes have come in that we have chosen homelessness, which includes adults, veterans, youth, and family, and women as the second choice, which certainly does include the homelessness, the women's shelters, crisis support, and empowerment programs. So when we reach out to give a hand up to those in need, those will be our focus for the rest of this year.
Ooh. Thank you.
I love that. And so now it is time for our closing affirmation, our benediction, our music, and some fellowship. And then visioning is right after.
Well, we're going to have a little cake first and a
We're gonna
little
have a
bit
little
of
cake
pie.
and a little
And
pie.
then we'll have our
What kind of
vision.
pie? Never mind, I'll find out. Please join me in this affirmation. If you're online, please join online. Let's say this together. I let my gentleness reveal my giant self.
Nice.
Thank you. I was going to go for the music because it's been so amazing. Hasn't the music
Yeah.
been amazing? Let's just give that energy. So, I was ready to go there. That was going to be my benediction. In this moment, in this knowing, in this deepening of who and what we really are, we claim that this gift of loving ourselves, and through loving ourselves, being able to love others more and loving our world more, we take this into our world and into our practice this week and this month. And as we love ourselves, we learn to love ourselves even more because this very practice expands and builds upon itself. We create good in the world. Our love projects itself as kindness, as grace, as the most amazing experiences. And we take notice and appreciate and give thanks. And so it is.
So it is.
And now for music.
Thank you so much. And I want to give a special thanks to our, where are you? Oh, okay. I want to give a special thanks to Gwen, who has jumped in and just been part of our One Love band, giving that little extra oomph to our, yes, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have another musician be with us. And yes, our pop of color. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, this one is, this one you'll recognize too. This is a Denise Rossier song.